in creating anything and everything in your life, 99.9% of it is the thoughts. It's using your brain to put out a vibration. And then by law of attraction, the universe will give you circumstances, situations, and events, and people to create that and bring into your life, that which you're vibrating. But it'll give you events, situations, people, which match the feeling, to give you matching feelings. This is why people always say, I wasn't vibrating, I wasn't thinking about a car crash. I wasn't thinking about falling down the stairs. No, but whatever feeling that event gave you, that's what you were vibrating. You were vibrating that emotion and feeling. Now, you can create a specific thing by vibration, but when you're putting that out, the universe will give you circumstances, events, situations, and people which match your feeling that you're vibrating. That's what we have to be aware of. Now, when we're talking about money, how do we apply this to money? Because I am going to give you a couple specific hows or techniques and things that I'm going to do. However, the action steps are really not that relevant. And because there are virtually millions of different scenarios to make money, it's really stupid and impossible for somebody to say, I'm going to teach you a specific way to make money, because the method that I would teach may apply to you, but may not apply to you. It may be something you really enjoy and want, but you wouldn't. So more important is for you to find the various methods and techniques of making money that you want, that give you the feeling that you want, and the universe will bring that into your life. But I'm going to give you some things to help you think about some certain things and focus on some certain things so you can bring into your life those certain things. So the first most important thing about making money is to want money. That's the first most important thing. You must want it. Specifically, money. At whatever level you choose. Again, the first rule or the first step of the four-step procedure is define what you want. So if you want money, how much money do you want? That amount, again, has to be a number that when you think about it, you feel good. If you feel bad, that means it's out of the sweet spot. Because if you come up with a number, I want $1 million, and you think about that, but you feel bad, that means you're not ready to focus on that, because you're going to be pulled to thinking about the lack of it and how am I going to get that? That'll never happen to me. And then you're focusing on that, and you know that because you're feeling bad, and you'll draw in more of lack. So everybody's amount of money is different. Some of you may say, I just want a certain amount of money to help start paying down my debt. You need to come up with a dollar amount of money that you want, that you can focus on initially, that you feel good about. Now, some of you may be able to use a more general approach instead of a specific amount and say, I just want some more money so I can relieve some of my financial pressure. And so you may be able to think about more money, and when you think about just some money, any amount's fine, just some money to help relieve some pressure, maybe that is your sweet spot. And you don't have to come up with a specific amount at all. And some of you may even take a different approach and going, I just want to feel financially secure and financially free without coming up with a specific amount at all. You're now working on a feeling. And remember, the 3 ways you can define your dream or define your goal or define your want is with specificity, a specific dollar amount. I want $10,000 a month. I want $50,000. I want $100,000. I want $1 million. I want $50 million. I want $100 million. I want $1 billion. Whatever a dollar amount is, that's with specificity, with no time limit attached. The second way is general. I just want some money, some more money, to do a certain thing. And the third one is just a feeling. I want to feel secure in my finances. I want to feel financially free. Now, by the way, when you're focusing on this, you wouldn't say, I want to feel no burdens financially. I don't want to feel any more financial pressure. That can't be a goal, because whatever you think about, you'll get. If you're thinking about a goal of, I don't want to feel financial pressure, you're thinking about financial pressure. Do you understand that? If you say, I don't want to have any more financial burdens, you're thinking about financial burdens. Now, this applies to everything. When you think of anything you want, you must think of what you want, not what you don't want. If you're looking at a relationship, for example, you can't say, okay, I want a person who doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. No, because you're thinking about a person who's smoking and drinking. That's the vibration, because you're focusing on that. You would rather say, I want a person who lives a very healthy lifestyle, like me. So you must always put wants, desires, dreams, goals in the positive. Don't say, I want somebody who doesn't do this, or I want no more of this, or I don't want this. See, some people, when they say, tell me what you want in life. Well, I don't want to be overweight anymore. No, you want to be thin. See the difference? I want to stop having food cravings. No, you want to have a normal appetite. I don't want any more stress. No, you want to feel secure and content and relaxed. Do you understand? You always must put your wants, goals, dreams, and desires in the affirmative, in the positive sense. That way you're focusing on what you want. So always remember that. So you have 3 ways of figuring out your financial goal. A specific amount, and this will change from time to time as you go through the process. So over the next days, weeks, and months, you'll start changing this and always be changing it and fine-tuning it. You're always fine-tuning your dream and what you want, because you're experiencing things that you don't want and you're fine-tuning what you want. It becomes clearer. Therefore, your vibration is clearer, more specific, and your vibration, either it's more specific on the feeling or more specific on the desire. And the more specific it can get on the feeling or the desire, or even the general sense, it does actually become more specific. It becomes more powerful, more intense, and you get a higher level of belief, which means it comes into your existence faster. So the first thing is you must have a chief aim. Chief aim means a primary focused goal when it comes to money. One of the keys of wanting things, if you go back of everything we talked about, it's you become what you think about most of the time, which means if you really want things in your life, people always talk about a balanced life. You want a great relationship, you want great health, you want a great family, you want great social life, you want great intellectual stimulation, you want great emotions, you want great finances, you want a great career, you want to be fulfilled. Well, if you're thinking of all these things throughout the day, the question is, what are you thinking about most of the time? The answer is you're not focusing on anything. You're putting out so many different vibrations. All these vibrations are good, but none of them, therefore, can be very intense, very powerful, and none of them can be being broadcast out of your brain for a long duration. One of the secret keys that nobody will talk about, because they always talk about this balanced life, one of the secret keys we learned in society is that you become what you think about most of the time. And the key is you can't live a balanced life. You must be focusing on a chief aim most of the time. If that's your health, that's your health. If that's your family, that's your family. If that's your finances, that's your finances. If it's your relationship, it's your relationship. If it's your intellectual pursuits, it's your intellectual pursuits. You become what you think about most of the time. Therefore, you must always have a chief aim. Some of you right now, if you were to look at the various areas of your life, you really have to ask yourself, what is your chief aim? Is it finances? Is it relationship? Is it health? Is it your spouse? Is it your career? Is it your intellectual pursuits? What is your chief aim? And the fact is, you can be broadcasting all those things, yes, but you must have a chief aim. This was taught to Napoleon Hill by Andrew Carnegie, and it's something that has been overlooked throughout history. Another way of putting it is, and this may sound negative, but it's true, you must be obsessed with what you want. Because that's the only way you can focus your broadcasting vibration. You must be obsessed with what you want. That's the only way you can continually clarify it, broadcast the vibration with power and intensity, and have the duration long enough to create it in your life. You must be obsessed. You get what you think about most of the time. So if you're putting the equal amounts of effort or equal amounts of thought across 20 different things, all those things will ultimately come into your life in varying levels and degrees. But if you want something to really come into your life fast, you must broadcast it virtually all the time, which means you must be thinking about it all the time or most of the time. You become what you think about most of the time. You must have a burning desire. Remember Napoleon Hill? Define your goal, and later he called it define your chief aim. And he later said, define what you're going to be thinking about and what you want all the time. Define what you want and think about it all the time, and have a burning desire for its achievement. What's burning desire? Burning desire is massive obsession. You can't have a burning desire for something if you're not thinking about it all the time. Then you don't really have a burning desire for it. You need to be obsessed with it. You need to be talking about it, thinking about it, living it, breathing it, tasting it, touching it, anticipating it, as if it's already yours.
There we go. There we go. What's up, familia? Grand Rising. Happy Friday. Hope everybody is having a phenomenal day. I'm feeling blessed. I'm feeling grateful. Wow, man. It just feels so good every morning to wake up and, run the play with you guys. Today I'm repping my Yankees. As you guys know, they're having a great season. And everything is just really, really looking good. I got to rep my Yankees. I'm a huge Yankee fan. For those who knows, and has my last name too, so I had to get the matching last name, the Torres, for Gleyber Torres, who's a player for the Yankees. So I'm actually looking forward to going to a Yankees game. Shout out to the Warriors winning the championship as well. So overall, just a great day. I'm feeling so good. I'm excited for this weekend. I'm excited for just life in general this summer. 3-year anniversary for Mornings with Nano is on Monday. So just overall feeling amazing, feeling great, feeling blessed, feeling aligned, feeling on top of the world, man. 3 years on Mornings with Nano is going to be nice, man. So I'm really looking forward to it and everything that's coming, and just excited for each and every single one of us to continue to grow and elevate and continue to take ourselves to the next level. Put a 1 in the chat box if you did your morning routine this morning. If you did your morning routine this morning, I'm really having a lot of fun reading my book right now, the Power of Now. Power of Now is really teaching me some dope stuff. So I got a chance to do some reading this morning. Some meditation was awesome. Meditation has changed ever since I started understanding presence a little bit more. So that feels really good. But make sure that you get that in. Then I woke up late today. No problem. Still get it done. It's okay. Sometimes we wake up late. There's days I wake up late sometimes, but I still get it done. I still get it done. I teach people the 5-5-5 method. Whenever you wake up late and you don't have time to do your morning routine, do 5 5 5. 5 minute meditation, read 5 pages, write down 5 things you're grateful for and why. Boom. That's a short morning routine. Like, remember, guys, sometimes you just got to know how to adjust. Sometimes you're not going to be able to get the full morning routine, the full morning routine. So um I do 5 5 5. Boom. 5 minute meditation, read 5 pages, write down 5 things you're grateful for and why you're grateful for them. That's a nice little solid break that you give yourself, that'll take you 20 30 minutes to do. And like I said, like Pat said in the chat, the important thing is that you get it done, that you consciously still get it done. Okay, you might not necessarily be able to get your full hour or 2 hours of sleep in. I mean, sorry, your full hour or 2 hours of morning routine in, but at least you got something done. At least you read 5 pages. At least you were able to sit in presence for 5 minutes. At least you wrote down 5 things that you're grateful for. But what you want to do is whenever that happens, you want to make sure that you just get it done no matter what, and that's the key, guys. And that's something that I always tell people is that even if you don't get your full morning routine done, find a way to get some of it done. Just whatever you do, don't go a day without doing it. That's the worst thing you want to do, because if you think about it, you're gonna go spend an hour on your phone throughout the day doing nothing. You're gonna go spend time throughout the day. There's going to be times throughout the day that you don't do much. So I want to make sure that you guys know that as well. Drew, my brother, love you too, fam. I don't think my brother Drew gets enough recognition for all that he does. Thank you, bro, for the energy that you bring, for your consistency, for the notes that you drop for us in here. We all appreciate you, my brother. Always, always, always. Huge shout out to my guy, Drew Miller, always dropping, notes in here, making sure that we get the notes and the family, everything. So it's super key. And I'm excited. Choose the man. How do you not snooze on waking up? It's hard, Jonathan. It's hard. But what I say is set the intention before you go to bed. Set the intention before you go to bed that you're gonna wake up off that first alarm, right? And another thing is what you gotta do is this, bro. Don't even set a second alarm. Set one alarm, and that's it. If you miss that alarm and you fall back to sleep, then you missed it. That's it. You slipped up. You got to get to the point where you just get there, and the moment you hear that alarm sound, start thinking 5 4 3 2 1, because you got to have like a countdown, right? A countdown. The reason why the 5 second rule is so important is because when you wake up and you start the 5 second rule, right? What I do is I sit there like this sometimes, and like if it's just hard for me to wake up, I'll just sit there and I'll be like, okay, then the 5 second rule. On the count of one, you're gonna spring out of bed and you're gonna go wash your face and go drink some water and wake up. And I'll be like, all right, 5 4 3 2 1. Boom. Get up out of bed. Let's go. Let's get the day started. I go wash my face. I go drink some water. And I just get right to it. Like it has to be something that you get into it right away. Like it's a strategy. It's difficult, especially in the morning, especially if you're somebody who really loves your sleep and you've been programmed to snooze all the time. It's definitely difficult. So what I recommend is either set up that one alarm and hold yourself accountable, like that. Do the 5 second rule. And sometimes what you can do is set two alarms. So for me, like what I would do when I was waking up at 5:55, what I would do is my first alarm was at 5:40, and then I would snooze at 5:40 for another 15 minutes, and then it will sound at 5:55. So that way I could kind of like get that extra 15 minutes. Like I knew, like, all right, it's 5:40. Okay, now I know that in 15 minutes is my time to wake up. So it was kind of like a reminder that I used as a way to like, yo, okay, it's 5:40. I got 15 minutes left. Let me enjoy these last 15 minutes, because that's it. After this, I got to get up. And then boom, you wake up and then you're done. But you got to learn that key. You got to learn that key. Okay, but it is difficult. I I get it, but that's the willpower right there. That you waking up early is what develops that willpower. That willpower is very, very key. Okay. So I know we went on a little rant right there, but let's express one thing that we're grateful for in the chat box. What is one thing that you're grateful for in the chat box? Let's make sure we express that. We all know that gratitude is the source where all good things come from. So I am grateful for God. I am grateful for my health. I am grateful for his grace and protection, his wisdom. I am grateful for my family, my mom, my dad, my little brother, and my goddaughter, Dariana. I'm extremely grateful for the team, the leaders within my organization. I'm grateful for the whole Mornings with Nano community. I'm grateful for Katie. I'm grateful for the books that I'm reading, the individuals that I have access to. I'm grateful for my day one brothers, who I got an incredible amount of love for. I'm grateful uh, for the systems in my body. I'm grateful for the roof over my head. I'm grateful for my mentors, Matt Rosa, Jason Brown, Darwin Lopez. Okay, so many great individuals. My brother Matt Gribby, Sean Murphy. All right, extremely, extremely grateful for every single one of you guys on this call. I'm grateful I can read the Bible. All right. Grateful for the sirens in the back. Right. Pray that everybody's good wherever they're going. So, I don't think we ever had any sirens when I was living in Sunny Isles. Right. I don't think I remember any of those when I was in Sunny Isles, but now you hear them all the time, right? All right. So regular New York, not facts. But I love it. It's just so dope. It's just such a dope experience. I'm grateful I don't give up. I love that. I love that. I love that. Okay, so today we're going to talk about a very important topic. Okay, a very, very important topic. It's a topic that, we all need to know about, and we've probably heard about it in the past, but it's important that we get the reminder of it, right? And I wanted to talk about today, don't be a drifter. Okay, not becoming a drifter. Okay, now it's important that everybody understands what a drifter is. I haven't done this training this year, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, the last time I did this training was last year in May. So I haven't done this training in a while. And I was like, you know what? Let me bring out one of my trainings from the vault, and this training, the drifter, comes from, one of my favorite books that I've read is called Outwitting the Devil. Outwitting the Devil is where this training comes from. And this training is so important because, all of us are drifters. We all drift. And it's important that everybody becomes aware of what a drifter is and how to avoid it, especially during the summertime, because the summertime is when most people drift. Okay. And I want to make sure that everybody understands how not to be a drifter. But I first got to explain what a drifter is. Now, I need you guys to write this down. A drifter is a person who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances of the outside world. Write that down. A drifter is a person who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by circumstances of the outside world. Okay, that's what a drifter is. All right, that's what a drifter is. A drifter is a person who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by the circumstances of the outside world. Okay, so let's make sure that we first understand what a drifter is. Okay, now it's important that you guys understand this. 95 to 97% of people that we know are drifters. Listen to the numbers again. 95 to 97% of people are drifters. Okay, they are drifters. It's a big number. It's a huge number right there. Okay, that's a lot of people who drift. Okay, so it's important that we all understand this stuff. Okay, and I'm gonna go over this because we need to understand that the mind is a very powerful place. It's a very powerful tool, but it's also a very powerful tool that can be used against you if you don't know how to use it, if you don't understand it. Because understand this, guys, we have about 70,000 thoughts on a daily basis, both conscious and unconscious. About 70,000 thoughts. It's a lot of thoughts. And the problem is with having 70,000 thoughts is that 70% of them, okay, when you come from certain environments, 70% of your thoughts are usually negative and don't serve you. 70%. So think about that, guys. Out of 70,000 thoughts, 60 to 70% of them are negative. They don't serve you. They don't help you. So we got to make sure that we truly understand the importance of the thoughts that we have and how we can control them on a better basis so that we don't become drifters. Okay, because if we become drifters, we lose every time. The reason why most people lose is because they drift. The reason why most people can't stay consistent is because they drift. The reason why most people can't hit the next rank and hit the next level in their business is because they drift. I see so many people that have so much potential all the time, but the reason why they fail is because they always drift. They might get into a rhythm. I've seen people get into rhythms like, yeah, bro, I'm gonna start doing my morning routine every day, and then they'll get into that rhythm. But then what tends to happen is they get into the rhythm and then they fall out of rhythm because guess what happened? They drifted, they got distracted. They permitted themselves to be influenced and controlled by something, a circumstance that happened in the outside world. I've seen it so many times and it breaks my heart when I see it happen because they are drifting. They are drifting. You don't know how many times, remember, guys, I am a mentor to hundreds and thousands of people. Hundreds and thousands of people. And I have a lot of conversations with a lot of people a lot of the time. And I know people and I see people when they get in that mode, like, yeah, Nano, morning routine, bro. I'm doing my reading, I'm doing my journaling, I'm prospecting every day. You see them on all the calls, you see them in the chat boxes, they're in all the groups, they're participating, and then out of nowhere, they're gone. They just disappeared. They're not jumping on Mornings with Nano anymore. You don't see them posting their morning routine on their story anymore. They're not participating in the groups anymore. They just not jumping on calls anymore. And you're wondering, yo, what happened to Joe? What happened to Jill? Like, what happened to these people? Like, they were just running the play. They were just so motivated. They were just so there. And now they're not. What happened to them? Okay. What happened? Halloween came early, right? What happened to them? And what tends to happen is those individuals drifted. They were running the play. Think about it. They were running the play. They were showing up every day. They were participating in the group chats. They were showing up on all the calls. They were doing the prospecting. They were posting on Instagram. They were there. They were there every single time. But then something happened and then they drifted. Now they're not picking up your phone calls. Now they're not jumping on the calls. Now they're not jumping on Mornings with Nano. Now they're not participating in the groups. What happened to Joe? What happened to these individuals? Something called drifting. What is drifting? Drifting is a person who permits himself or herself to be influenced and controlled by the circumstances of the outside world. You can't be a drifter. You won't make it. You won't make it being a drifter. You're only going to make it being somebody that doesn't allow themselves. I'm not sure what the, what the opposite of a drifter is, but whatever it is, whatever that word is, we will say someone who's dedicated, okay, won't be a lot, won't be affected by the outside world. I've seen it happen too many times and it breaks my heart. And the reason why I wanted to teach you guys this is because if there's ever a time for somebody to become a drifter, it's during the summer. Because it's so easy, okay, to get distracted. It is so easy to allow yourself to be influenced and controlled by the circumstances of the outside world. Because look at what's happening in the outside world. Just pay attention. Just see it. It's, you can't even hide from it. Look at what's happening in the outside world. Just pay attention to it. See it for yourself. You can't even hide from it. It's happening right in front of us. Food shortages, that's the next thing. Make sure you guys are stacking up. That's the next thing. We went from wars, we went from this to vaccines to this. If it's not one thing, it's the next thing. Make sure you're paying attention. Make sure you're stocking up. Make sure that you're preparing yourself, most importantly, spiritually. Because only those who are connected spiritually are going to be the ones that make it over the next few years. Okay? So understanding the importance of drifting. Okay? I said it and I'll repeat it one more time. A drifter is someone who accepts. Sorry, my bad. A drifter is a person who permits himself to be influenced and controlled by the circumstances of the outside world, right? It says he would rather let me occupy his mind and do his thinking than go through the trouble of thinking himself. Okay? This is important. Do not allow anything else to affect you. In the book, he says a drifter is one who accepts whatever life throws his way without making a protest or doing anything to go against it. Okay? He accepts his life for what it is instead of creating his life. Okay? That is a huge difference between the two. There's a difference between accepting your life and being somebody that creates your life. Okay? If you're in a position where you're struggling financially, okay, you're not where you want to be at mentally, emotionally, spiritually, okay, you're not where you want to be at with your physical body. Don't be the person that just accepts that. Be the person that creates the life that you want. Because majority of the time when you're in a position like that, it was created by a negative entity. A negative entity puts you in that position. And if you accept it, you've allowed that entity now to take control over your thoughts and your mind and everything that goes forward. That's why you see so many people who, that's why, why does Bob Proctor say it? Why does Earl Nightingale say it? Most people don't think because most people have allowed themselves for other consciousness and other energies out there to take control of their own thinking. You can't allow yourself to accept a lifestyle that you didn't create, because a lot of the lifestyle that you created in that moment was created by other forces, by other opinions of other people, by not even the best version of yourself. It was created by a lower vibrational version of yourself. So you got to understand that you can't accept that. You have to create the life that you really want. What is the life that you really want? Create it. Don't be the person that doesn't fight that old programming. Fight that old programming, go against that old programming and create a new one. Because remember, how you do one thing is how you do everything. Most drifters are just too lazy mentally to use their own brain. And that is the reason why, listen to this, right? In the book, it talks about outwitting the devil, okay? You are either connected to God or you are connected to the devil. That's how it works, okay? And this might make some of you guys uncomfortable, but I need you guys to understand it because this is how it works and it's the truth. Okay. Most people who are drifters, right, are too lazy mentally. So what the devil does is he uses the brain of other people and he plants his own seeds in there so that way those seeds grow. And because you're not conscious of it, you're not seeing that there is a negative entity planting seeds in your mind every day, every day. And every negative thought after that is it being watered. Whatever you plant is going to grow. And sometimes we are not even consciously aware of the things that are being planted in our mind. That's why meditation is so important. People say, Nano, but why do I have to meditate? Meditation is so hard, this and this and that. Meditation is so important because it helps you realize what thoughts you have. When I would sit in meditation, when I first started, I would sit in meditation and I would just be an observer of my mind. And I would sit there in meditation and I would just pay attention to the thoughts that came into my mind. I'm like, okay. And you know what I realized when I started meditating? I'm like, yo, why am I having thoughts like this? Why is these negative thoughts in my mind? Why am I having thoughts of doubt? Why am I having these fear thoughts? I realized all the negative thoughts that I was having that would just pop into my mind while I was in meditation, that would just come to the front screen of my mind, and I would realize, I would be like, wow, like, bro, if I'm realizing these thoughts in meditation, these are probably the subconscious thoughts that I'm having on a day-to-day basis that is keeping me in this low vibration. I sat there and I would realize, I'm like, bro, I'm having thoughts of doubt that I'm not gonna make it. I'm having thoughts of fear, so many thoughts of fear, so many thoughts of, lack of finances, just so many thoughts. And I was just there and I was like, bro, what am I doing? Why am I thinking like this? And then I started to realize, I'm like I was having breakthroughs. I'm like, oh my God, like these are the thoughts that I'm having subconsciously. These are the thoughts that are being planted in my mind. And this is the reason why I'm struggling financially. This is the reason why I keep attracting all these situations to happen to me in my life, is because look at the thoughts that I wasn't even aware of. That's why I say to you guys every day, the key that opens all doors is your morning routine. Because in your morning routine, you realize the things that sometimes you can't realize on a day-to-day basis, because remember, the mind is always on go. It's always on go, 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 go. From the moment you wake up, think about it. The moment you wake up, okay, you on go mode. You grab your phone, you got to get to work, you got to get ready, the kids, this, all day you're just on go, on go, on go, on go, on go. And you never actually take the time, okay, to just sit down and be present and just see your thoughts, where they are, how you think, what's going on. You've never taken the time to stop and actually realize what you're actually thinking. And when I started to do that, I started to realize, like, yo, look at the thoughts that I'm having. No wonder I'm struggling. No wonder I have fear. No wonder I feel doubtful about myself. No wonder all of these things are happening in my life right now. No wonder. It makes so much sense now. And this is the reason why I couldn't stay consistent over time. This was the reason why I would start things and not finish them. Okay. It was because I was drifting. And it was because of the thoughts that were being subconsciously planted in my mind. Because remember, guys, sometimes some of you are not even conscious of the thoughts that are being planted in your mind, because all these thoughts are subconsciously planted from the music that you hear, from the opinions of other people, from the limitations that were installed, from the bad experiences that you've had in the past. It's just all of these things are subconsciously just being planted in your mind over and over and over again. It's like there's this farmer in your mind that you're not aware of, that is going around your mind. Think of your mind as a field, and there's this farmer that has been in your mind for a few years, and all he's doing is planting seeds, and you're not even aware of it. Because think about it, you're going about your day every single day, but what you don't know is that there's someone inside of your mind just planting negative seeds every day. And every time you have a negative thought, every time you have a negative feeling, that is you watering the seeds that farmer planted in your mind. You got to understand it. And that's why you start to see things grow. Okay. When circumstances show up in your life, those negative things that happen to you in your life, just know that that just didn't happen right there and then. That was a seed that you planted weeks and months ago that has been being watered over time, that now showed up into your life. Don't think that it just, you thought about it and it happened. That's not never how it works. Okay. You plant the seed today, and then the circumstances shows a week, 2 weeks, months later. Okay, that's how it works. Okay, so when something negative happens in your life, I want you to know that that seed had been planted months ago. And now is that is showing up, because now is that the plant grow. Now is that the seed, and now is that the fruit showed. Remember, we don't plant the seed today and eat the fruit tomorrow. The difference was that the seed that was planted few days ago, weeks ago, months ago, was a bad seed. And now you get a bad fruit. And that bad fruit is what? The circumstances that show up in your life that you're like, man, why is this happening to me? Why did this happen to me? Why did these people leave my business? Why am I struggling financially? Why did I get into this car accident? Why this? It's because of the seeds that have been planted in your mind, because you've allowed the outside circumstances to affect your internal peace. Why you think I tell you guys the whole system is set up for us to fail? For example, the news. When have you ever hopped on the news and see them talking about something positive? Everything on the news is negative, 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 death, wars, this. All that's doing is subconsciously installing fear into people. Fears, seeds of fear, seeds of doubt, seeds of insecurity, seeds of death. Come on, family. We got to see it. You know why? Because since I'm conscious, my parents watch the news. I can't get them to stop watching it, even if I wanted to. Okay. I've told them all the time, take this off, put the game on, do something different. And I sit here and I watch the news sometimes, and I'm like, yo, this is crazy, bro. Bro, this is literally nuts. The fact that they are doing this to people. Like, I see the stuff that they say on the news and the words that they use, and because I'm so aware, I'm like, this is so sad. This is so sad. And the thing is that then you see the reason why so many individuals are stuck, why so many individuals follow the system. It's all fear. It's all fear. It is all fear. I'll tell you guys something here today, and you guys won't even believe me. As a matter of fact, I don't even want to get into that. I don't even want to go there. Let's continue the topic. So when you're a drifter, okay, you have no control of your thinking. Someone else is in control. Okay. Someone else is in control. And there's this right here. This is what it says. There is an outside force that is controlling your thinking, and you can either choose to let that positive or negative force control you. Okay. So always remember, okay, that there is a negative force, an outside force that is controlling you. And you got to remember this. Okay. You got to remember this. Okay. Now, so listen to this right here. Nah, bro, I don't even want to get into that because it literally is a whole nother conversation that goes completely against this. Okay. And I don't want to hurt some feelings. But they in the book, in the book, it talks about, the guy Napoleon Hill is having a conversation with the devil. Okay. And in the book, it's like an interview. It's an interview. And Napoleon Hill tells him, I think I understand what a drifter is. Tell me the exact habits of them. When and how do you gain control of their mind? Napoleon Hill asks the devil. So remember, it's an interview. So Napoleon Hill is telling him, yo, look, I think I understand what a drifter is. Tell me the exact habits of them. When and how do you gain control of their mind? Right? And the negative entity answers, my control of the mind of a human being is obtained when the person is young. I lay the foundation before the owner of it is born by manipulation of the mind. The person's parents, and sometimes I go further back to the ancestors and etc. This is a program and it is generational. Okay. It's a generational curse that I install in the family years before they are born. So that's why they say generational curses. Guys, that's what this is right here. What do you think generational curses are? You think generational curses are money? Bro, money is the last thing when it comes to breaking generational curses. Listen to that again. Listen to that again. He asked them, when and how do you gain control of people and their minds? He said, my control of the mind of a human being is obtained when the person is young. I lay the foundation before the owner of it is born by manipulation of the mind through the parents. And sometimes I go further back to the ancestors, creating generational curses. So think about that. This has been passed down. That's why I tell you guys, bro, it's not up to us. Sorry, it's not up to our parents. It's up to us. Our parents weren't aware. If they were aware, maybe they would break the curses. You guys are now aware. You have to break the curses. I'm aware. It's up to me now to break these curses. It's a fight now because it's years and years. Think about it. My mom is in her 60s. I have 60 years of my mom's programming, plus my programming, plus years and years and years of her mom's programming. It's years, hundreds of years. That's why I tell you guys, yo, this is a long journey. That's why I be telling people, I'm like, bro, you quit after 6 months. I'm like, bro, you done for. How you gonna make it in life? How you ever gonna make it quitting after a few months? I'm 4 years in and I'm still breaking generational curses and I still haven't broke them. I still haven't broke them. I'm aware of them. I'm breaking them day by day. But this is not a curse that you're gonna break down in a few days or reading a few books and writing down your journal a few times and connecting. No. This is gonna take years. Years of work, years of development, years of books read. You don't just break a generational curse in a year. You don't just break a generational curse in 2 years. It takes years, family. That's why I tell you guys, every single one of you needs to play the long game. Too many of us play the short game. That's why sometimes I really do feel bad for people that quit early because people join these businesses. For example, people join my company, right? And they join this company, they join it to make money, right? And then if they don't make money, they're gone. But what they don't understand is that the company is bigger than just the money. You don't understand. Like, for me, the last thing that I'm worried about is the money that the company is paying me. I'm more focused on the access to the information that the company gave me access to. The people, the community. You think I care about a rank? You think I care about money? I care about the fact that I have access to this. The information is more valuable than any rank or any amount of money that they can ever pay me. Just the information. Because the information can help me get all the things that I want. But people don't see that. People are so caught up in their financial situation and the money, and but in reality, the information is more valuable than any amount of money or any rank that you can ever hit. Just access to this information. Like this call, I know people personally that will pay thousands of dollars a month to have access to this call. There's people out there that pay thousands of dollars to other people for the information that I share here for free. I know that because I've gone to these classes, I've gone to these leaders, and I'm like, bro, you teach this, you charge me $500 for this, and I teach the same exact thing for free, mornings with Nano, Monday through Friday. Don't take the information that I share here for granted because it's free. Know that this is going to be something that can change your life if you take advantage of it. In the book, he says he has two approaches to a person's mind. Two approaches. One is hereditary. Okay? He says one is hereditary that leads to the domination of the mind. He says, my clever trick, I enter the mind of people with the thoughts they believe. Sorry. He says, my clever trick is that I enter the mind of people with the thoughts they believe to be their own. The most useful to me are those of fear, superstition, greed, revenge, anger, plain laziness, and useful thoughts. Those are outside negative forces. So he uses thoughts of those. So think about it. Every time you have a thought of fear, laziness, greed, revenge, anger, that's the perfect time for the devil to come in. The moment you have any of those thoughts. If you look at the emotional guidance scale and you look at the low vibrations, go look at the low vibrations again real quick, guys. Open up the emotional guidance scale and look at number 8 and down, the downward spiral. Number 8 is boredom. Number 9 is pessimism. Number 10 is frustration. Number 11 is overwhelming. Number 12 is disappointment. 13, doubt, worry, blame, discouragement, anger, revenge, hate, jealousy, insecurity, fear, and depression. If you look at the emotional guidance scale, the way the devil works within you is when you have these feelings. That's his way to come in. You basically open the door whenever you are feeling these feelings for that negative entity to come in and take control. Go look at the emotional guidance scale, please, right now, because we've been talking about this over the last few weeks and we're getting deeper into it now. Go look at the emotional guidance scale and look at the downward spiral. The downward spiral is where the devil lives. That's where the devil lives. I hope you guys see it because I'm teaching you guys stuff that, like I said, some of you guys may not be ready to hear this stuff, but I need to be the one that teaches you this stuff because nobody will ever, ever, ever tell you this stuff. Because the same way there's a higher power is the same way that there is a lower power because of the law of polarity. If there is a positive, there is a negative. If we believe in God, we got to believe in the bad as well because there's always an opposite. There's always an opposite. If you believe in God, you got to believe in, because there's two sides. There's the law of polarity. There's good and there's bad. As above, so is below. That's where it lives. It's telling us right here in this book. It's literally telling us in the book right here that, yo, this is where I live. Whenever you have these thoughts, that's when I'm in. I'm there. Look at what it said. This is why you got to be very careful with your kids. He said, through one or more of these things, I can enter the mind at any age. But he said, I get the best results when the mind is young. And then I set up habits that can ruin their lives forever. This is why you got to be careful the things that you allow your kids to listen to. The people that you let your kids listen to. This is important stuff. This is deep stuff for real. Because early on is when they get them. Very early. Okay? Look at this now. He says, so they ask him a question. He says, all right, so let us go back to the habit of drifting. How is it that you use your tricks to take control of people's mind? He said, I also use environmental habits to give me a definite grip of my victims. Environmental habits. Environmental habits. So he looks at your environment and he uses the habits of your environment to control you. That's why they say your environment has a lot to do with it, because look at the habits of your environment and notice that some of those also become your habits. I can tell you from experience. I these things. I don't have the book. I actually just have notes on it. So I don't have the book and I'm not reading from a specific page. I'm reading from notes that I have. But environment also plays a huge part, very big part in this. That's why your environment this summer is key. It's key. That's one of his clever tricks, is using his environment as a way to get in and stay in there. He says, the goal is for me to go in and destroy their thinking so that you're not able to think for yourself and be continued to allow the outside forces to affect your thinking without you even knowing it. And then it starts getting deep. Because he starts talking about the school system. He says the entire public school system is administered, that it helps me because most of the time these children are being taught everything except how to use their mind and think independently. In school, you're not taught how to think independently. You're taught how to think for someone else, how to be an employee. No one is taught how to be their own man. Everyone is taught how to be an employee, how to work for someone else. He says, I live in the fear that one day some courageous person will switch the whole school system and change the way they think. This stuff, like when you read this book will give you so much breakthroughs. So many breakthroughs. So many breakthroughs. There's so much that I could talk about here. But we got to become aware, fam. We have to become aware. We have to wake up, all of us. We all have to wake up. You have to see what's going on right in front of you. Because the same way some of you guys are saying in the chat that it breaks your heart, it breaks my heart too. To know that this is the way things were set up for some of us. And the fact that there's millions of people out there that are not aware of this information. Millions. We have to save the world. We have to save the world. People do not know this stuff. People are not aware of this stuff. These are the things that it's going to take. It can't just be me. It has to be all of us. We have to save the world. We get to save the world. We cannot allow these things to continue. We have to be the example for this world. We got to be the individuals that change the vibration of this planet. The only way that we are in control, okay, is when we develop that new programming, new habits, new thoughts. He said, listen to this. He said, is that why a few people are wealthy while the majority are poor? Devil said, to be honest, you're exactly right. Poverty is a disease, and it's one that the drifters embrace. You find poverty amongst most of the drifters because most of them can't think for themselves because I'm doing the thinking for them. Damn. Breaks that. That's tough. To be honest, you're exactly right. Poverty is a disease, and it's one that drifters embrace. Hard pill to swallow. Very, very hard pill to swallow. When I became aware of this information, I said, yo, I need to get my life right because I saw myself in there. I saw myself allowing the opposition to, I felt it. Is that why a few people are rich while the rest are? Because only a few people ever take control of their mind. And I know some of you guys may not want to hear this, but there are people on this call right now that don't have control of their thinking. And you need to break free of that. If the outside forces affect your peace, you are not in control of your thinking. You need to change immediately. Immediately, you need to change because it only gets worse. You need to change immediately. Take it from somebody, okay? Take it from somebody who's been there before. like I said, guys, I come in these calls and I talk to you guys about life, real life stuff. The only way you're going to be able to make it in your business is if you make this happen. You got to get your mind in the right place. My business didn't start to grow and elevate until I got my mind right. Why you think so many people fail? You think it's because you really believe that it's because the products don't work, or they weren't able to hit a rank, or they weren't able to talk to enough people. You guys really think it's because of those things? It has nothing to do with those things. It's all because of themselves, the mind. That's why I love to hear people's excuses when they say that they failed. I'm like, oh yeah, dope. The products didn't work, huh? Funny. It was you. That's what it was. It was you. Most people don't see it. Most people don't understand that. You got to take control of your thinking. And the way I did it, I'm telling you guys right now, the way I did it was through my morning routine. It was through my morning routine. You guys will ask me questions. Nano, how did I improve my thinking? Nano, how did I take control? It was that intentional morning routine. How did I get rid of past thoughts? Through a consistent and intentional morning routine. How did I take control of my thoughts? Through a consistent morning routine. How did I turn a negative mindset to a positive mindset? Through a consistent and intentional morning routine. Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, no excuses. Get it done every single day. That's how it works. That's how I did it. That's the only way I know. If there's another way, then put me on, but that's how I did it. You can't break down. You got to remember, guys, you're talking about thousands and thousands of years, generations that you got to break. And some of you guys haven't even been consistent for a week, and you're thinking you're going to break generational curses. It's not going to happen. You haven't even proved that you can go a whole month doing your morning routine. How are you going to be successful? You haven't even done 30 days straight. How are you going to make it? You're not. You're not. It's not gonna. It's impossible. I'm sorry, I gotta be the one to tell you, but it's not gonna happen. If you can't consistently work on yourself every day, you're gonna be stuck in the same place for as long as you live. That's one thing that I can't do for you. I can't be consistent for you. I can't be intentional for you. I can't do the thinking for you. The same work that I put in is the same work that you got to put in. And you got to do it for years. And that's the thing, is that most people don't want to put that work in. They'd rather settle. They'd rather be like, you know what, Nano? I'm not in the mood to do this for the next few years of my life. So I'd rather just chill. I'd rather just accept what it is. Like, it is what it is. It is what it is. That's how it is. Most people think like that. They're like, yo, Nano, it is what it is, bro. And they will continue to be drifters, and they will continue to not have. And that's what majority of people that we grew up with and that are friends and family of ours now, that's what they did. They just allowed and they accepted the life that they lived. They said, yo, I'm just going to accept this, and this is what it's going to be moving forward. But just remember, the moment you settle, you're going against God. Always remember that. The reason why sometimes God doesn't answer your prayers is because there's other entities in your life that have more influence over you than God itself. Because God, you're supposed to live your life serving the purpose that was given to you by him, which is to become that best version of yourself and helping others do it. So whenever you're not doing that, how can God help you? How you want God to help you if you're not even helping yourself? And I was chilling, being lazy at home. God wasn't answering none of my prayers. But it's true. It's deep stuff, bro. It's stuff that we sit here and, bro, we can cry about stuff like this of how deep it actually gets. Like, I know it's sometimes even uncomfortable. Some of you guys on this call are probably uncomfortable as hell. And I'm sorry, but it's the truth. And you know what's the thing? That it gets deeper than that. It's a rabbit hole that some people are not. Don't go down the rabbit hole, because it gets deeper than that. I'm keeping it very surface level right here. I'm keeping it very surface level. It's very surface level, but I'm giving you guys the truth. Gotta wake up, family. Don't be a drifter. Don't be a drifter. Please wake up, because at the end of the day, the truth is gonna set you free. The truth will set you free, family. So don't be a drifter. Take control of your thinking, and let's win the day, family. All right, we'll wrap it up right there. I covered majority of the notes that I had here. We could have gone deeper, but it's time. That's good right there. I'm pretty sure we got majority of it. You got to develop a new programming, new habits, new thoughts. That's the key. New habits, new programming, new thoughts, learning how to think for yourself. That's done every mornings. Every morning, every morning, every morning. Take your mornings very serious, fam. If you guys got value from this, put some 333s in this call. If you guys got value from this. All right. Make sure that you guys are staying on point. This is a great reminder to wake up. This is a great reminder to know, hey, man, I don't want to be a drifter this summer. I don't want to be a drifter this summer. Okay. And my next book that I'm reading is going to be another eye opener as well. It's going to be another eye opener as well. So make sure that you guys are paying attention to it. Big things are coming for just all of us. A lot of great information is going to be shared with all of us here. And I know that a lot of you guys are going to be able to get a lot better information that I got coming for like us. That's going to help us wake up in ways that some of you guys are not ready for, but we need it. We need it. All right, fam. So, one of the best calls yet. I'm glad you liked it, Oscar. I'm gonna send us a quick prayer. Quick prayer. Everybody bow your heads and let's pray. Father God, thank you so much for blessing us with this beautiful Friday morning filled with your blessings and filled with your grace. We are so thankful that, we have someone like you in our life that, is making us aware of information that at the time may make us uncomfortable, but we need to become aware of what is the opposite of you, because at the end of the day, we need to be close to you at all times. And your energy and your presence and your grace is what we need in our lives. We don't need the energy of another entity, a negative entity. And right now, there are people that are fighting with that negative entity, God. And we ask that you give those individuals the strength, the determination, the wisdom that they need in order for them to become aware of where they're dedicating more of their energy to, so that we can shift those individuals to look more towards you, God, because the closer we are towards you, the more protected we are, the more in alignment we are, the better the wisdom is, and the more in control that we are, God. And that's what this is all about right here. I know that you put me on this journey, and the rest of us on this call is to wake more people up, because of a lot of your children are lost, but we are the ones who have been found. And as the children that have been found on this world, we have to be the one that help us find the rest that are lost out there. So continue to pour the wisdom into us, continue to make us aware, continue to use us as your servants to come in here and serve the word and make more people aware of you, God, because you, God, are the mightiest. You, God, are the best. And you are the one that is going to lead us to eternity. And there's no one better than you to guide us and be the leader of this journey, God. So continue to guide us, continue to pour into us. We will make sure that we continue to serve our purpose and waking more of our family, our friends, our communities up, because the more people we get connected towards you, the better the world we're going to live in, God. So we thank you so much for everything that you do for us. Thank you for making us uncomfortable. Thank you for telling us the truth. Thank you for making us aware. We will forever be thankful for the information that you're teaching to us, because of this information, we will break generational curses and create generational wealth for our families. We love you so much and we appreciate you so much. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. 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 You should write a book. Yes, I am. I'm 100% going to write a book. 1,000% going to write a book. 1,000% going to write a book. So I appreciate you guys so much. I hope you guys all have a blessed rest of your day. Make sure that you guys put yourselves in position. Remember, okay, it is June 17th. Okay, summer starts June 20th, June 21st. Yeah, I think it was June 21st. That the first day of summer is June 21st till September 22nd. Make sure that you set your goals, do an evaluation, put yourself in position to win. Okay, like this video. If you're on this call, just give it a like. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed just yet. And leave a post notification. Turn on the post notifications, leave a nice comment. Show love on the podcast as well. You can find it on Mornings with Nano on Apple, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, SoundCloud. You can get it everywhere. And let's get it rocking, fam. I'm grateful for you guys. I love all of you. And if you guys need anything from me, please reach out. We'll be back Monday, and Monday will be Mornings with Nano's 3-year anniversary, fam. So be ready for that, because it's about to be next level, fam. I love y'all. I appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Prepare yourself, because summer is right around the corner, fam. Love y'all. Let's get it. No drifting this weekend.